Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing. Let me thank Senator Haggerty for sitting in, even though this was not his ranking spot, but we appreciate you being here so we could have the hearing of these nominees. So it's an incredibly important part of our overall duties, even though we all came here to do policy legislation, but nonetheless, nominations are incredibly important to execute those policies. So thank you both for doing this, and congratulations to all the nominees. I love seeing a panel that is career service people being promoted, and I think that's a great thing. So congratulations to all in your family. Ambassador Radley, it's good to see you here in your new capacity, confirmed. Maybe you can help your wife get through this period of time. So you'll both be in the region, so it'll be nice. Let me turn to a few questions. First of all, the UAE. Look, the UAE is an important relationship for us, but as I've said to their ambassador here, you got to decide whose side you want to be on. Do you want to be in a world in which China and its vision of the world is the world in which you live in? Or do you want to live in a world in which you get to choose how you get to thrive, protect your territorial integrity, choose who you love, who you marry, how you make your money, and a whole host of other things? And in that regard, I hope that when you get there, that you'll make it very clear that that's part of your mission and part of their interests as well as ours. This is not about choose between the United States and China. It's about choose what type of world you want to live in. And that's probably true for all of your assignments collectively at the end of the day. To your knowledge, I know you're not there yet, but to your knowledge, has the UAE provided the United States with assurances that it's not going to go forward with its military base at the UAE with the Chinese?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And first, absolutely, I will carry that message. It will be a priority if confirmed. It is my understanding that we have delivered a very clear message to all of our partners in the region, but certainly to the Emirates on the concerns that we have, very deep and grave concerns about certain categories of cooperation with China. And that cooperation certainly would impact on some of our very core national security interests that you're referring to, and it's a message that it is my understanding has been delivered at the senior-most levels.
And what's been the response, to your knowledge? Do you know if they have given us assurances they're not moving forward with a Chinese base?
Mr. Chairman, it is my understanding that we will have administration officials briefing the committee staff tomorrow in an appropriate setting on the nature of the conversations
I hope
and the
my
status.
staff tells me what's happening. So we'll look forward to that. Also, in terms of Chinese penetration of the UAE telecom system and other technology sectors, you're aware of that and ready to make sure you make the case why that's not a good idea for them or for us?
Absolutely. I've seen the open source reporting on this, and clearly the penetration of Chinese equipment in any network is concerning, and certainly as it impacts our cooperation, our security cooperation, this would be very concerning. So very much a message that will be topmost on my agenda if confirmed.
All right, thank you. Ms. Sasahara, I had, as you mentioned, a good visit in Kuwait. The relatively new foreign minister, former ambassador here, knows the United States well, knows the interests of his country vis-a-vis the United States well. I'm wondering whether you'll be able to engage with the Kuwaitis about considering a cession to the Abraham Accords. We had this conversation, we were there, and while it's clear to me that they're not ready for that, I think that working towards getting ready for that would be a good thing. Is that something that you see being engaged in?
Thank you very much for the question, Mr. Chairman. It's a very important one. I share your disappointment that Kuwait is not part of the Abraham Accords, to not even consider it is to risk being left behind in the region and possibly an outlier, which can be very risky in today's global markets and in the strategic security environment of that region. We've already seen the benefits of the Abraham Accords, whether it's in education, tourism, business, as well as regional security. With your permission, if I am confirmed, I would like the opportunity to get on the ground and get a sense of what is possible and report back to you.
We appreciate the Kuwaitis being, they host, I went to the base there, they host for Thanksgiving, I went to the base. We appreciate their participation with us in so many different ways, but we hope that they will be more forward-leaning and embracing the possibility of normalization of relationships with Israel. Lastly, as you know, Turkmenistan's neighbor, Uzbekistan, took important steps to end forced labor in its cotton industry, which opened up greater economic opportunities for the country. Ms. Rood, with Uzbekistan as an example, what can be done to encourage the government of Turkmenistan to understand that the respect for human rights is not only a moral imperative, but will create an environment more conducive to economic investment and prosperity?
Thank you for that question, Chairman Menendez. Labor rights is among the many human rights challenges that are central to our bilateral agenda with the government of Turkmenistan, one that we address regularly through our daily diplomacy as well as through our recurring annual bilateral consultations. I'm happy to share with you that we see some progress on the issue of forced labor and labor rights in Turkmenistan. In September and October of this year, there were 2 visits to Turkmenistan by the International Labor Organization and another visit already just this month. The purpose of this visit is to engage with the government of Turkmenistan on labor issues, labor rights, particularly in the cotton industry, to provide advice, potentially technical assistance, and as well to observe and monitor practices during the cotton harvest. I hope through this persistent and patient engagement with Turkmenistan that we will see continued progress and a resolution of the outstanding issues.
Well, thank you. Ms. Allen, I'll leave questions for the record, but I don't want you to think I don't have no affection for what you're going to do. I am concerned about what institutional changes we might use to better educate our diplomats about public diplomacy tools, as well as content creation and timely delivery. And Mr. Yoon, I think that the assignment that you're being given is an incredibly important one, and therefore I need to visit you. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.